Hi class, so I just wanted to review this very last activity in psychology, and we will be moving on to sociology starting next week. So just looking through in the course home, we actually have an extra little assignment left over from Unit 2, Activity 3, and I'll go through that really quickly. And then you need to make sure that you've read the information for Unit 2, Activity 4. There's a discussion. And there's two little assignments here. I'm going to be making up a chart that you can complete to be able to complete this little assignment, and you can hand in the chart. And there's, of course, a hot topic. So as we're working through this week, we want to make sure that we're working towards these assignments. Okay, so I'm going to go back to Unit 2, Activity 3, and let's just review. Let's go to Unit 2, Activity 3, and we are going to take a look at what this biopsychosocial model is. In content, you will actually see there's an example of what this is. You'll see a little chart. Sorry. Okay, so as we scroll through, we have gone through, looked at some of the discussion pieces. We're looking at conformity. And your major assignment within Unit 2, Activity 3 was to complete this chart. So I have included one of those in the information in Newsfeed. And I think I included it right down here. I included the videos that will help give you information for those, and the chart can be found in the news feed. So if you'd like to use my Google chart, or you can recreate your own, however it works best for you. And so going through all that information, as we scroll down, we are looking at the idea of biological, psychological, and social cultural factors that affect how a person acts. And so this little assignment, and what they're asking you to do, is to choose one of these case studies and simply write about each of those factors. So write about the biological factors, their human genetics, all the other things that have been addressed within their life and within their biographical. So I know that Selena Gomez actually has lupus. And so that may be part of biological factors that affect how her life has gone recently. Psychological factors, she shares that she has suffered from mental illness, and talking about that. And then looking at other people's expectations. I cannot imagine what it is like to be a celebrity. And so all you're doing is taking the case study and looking at each of these and using those headings, just identifying a couple of pieces of information about this individual and what they have gone through and how it's affected their work. So handing that in. So that is the assignment that is due from Unit 2, Activity 3. So later on in the week, if we go back to the course home and look at the schedule, you have information from Unit 2, Activity 4. So this one is about socialization. And when we look at socialization in the social sciences, each of the social science disciplines, anthropology, psychology, sociology, each have a different perspective. And so we look at socialization often in sociology as the different groups that are a part of your socialization. So when we look at socialization within psychology and how it affects the individual, we are looking at the nature-nurture debate. And so there's many different factors that are included in making us up as to who we are and how we learn, how we act. And so often in psychology, they do twin studies as a way of examining nature and nurture, because by nature, twins are raised typically in the same family. And so they often have very similar traits. And so in the twin studies, it actually examines twins who were not raised together, or twins that have different characteristics. These are all interesting to psychologists because the question is, if their genetics are very similar, What are some other factors that have influenced their behavior if they are in fact different? And so looking through that information and watching videos about twins, there is a discussion. So some more information about nature nurture, some videos that are really important to watch to examine the concept of nature and nurture, and specifically twin studies in psychology. There's some pretty famous ones. So there's some interactive activities as well that will use the information you've learned from content. And then we're going to carry on into, now that you've learned more about nature nurture, revisit the organizer that you made at the start of this activity and complete the 4 columns. So I'm going to create this organizer and put a copy of it in the newsfeed for you for this week so that you can complete this assignment. Okay. And last but not least, at the end of each of the units, there's a hot topic. So you'll be given a situation or a scenario, and then you respond to it. So here's the scenario, and then you have some information here at the bottom. How are you going to answer those questions? You can do it in whatever works best for you. I know I'm also an English teacher. I don't know if a poem is going to be the way that most of you choose in which to respond to this using the questions, but you might surprise me. You never know. So you're going to hand that in as well. The reflection you don't necessarily need to complete. It's simply for you to think about, and you can jot down some notes. And that is the end of this particular unit. There's usually at the end of every unit, there's a survey. Again, this is not assessed, but it allows me as your teacher to know if there's any questions or problems that you've encountered or some unresolved issues that maybe I can help you. So I hope that works. Look to the newsfeed on the course home, because all the resources and sometimes the organizers and resources, videos, etc., are in there to be able to help you.